let's go ahead and head over to the game and introduce our players. In the top left-hand position as the red Protoss, it is Finale. I actually said that like we had an audience, by the way.
From Team MVP, Finale.
It is Finale. Give a little silence. All right, who do we have in the bottom right here?
In the bottom right, we have former Brood War 8-teamer. His name is Songho, but he changed his name to Killer. Now on Team Complexity, former from TSL, used to be a captain there. He is looking to fight for a spot in the round of 4, which qualifies him from Season 4, as well as a spot potentially for the wildcards. Now, I feel like Killer is one of these prime examples that people turn to and say, well, what happened? Like, Killer was this fantastic player back in Brood War. You know, he had the whole scandal that really scorched him, but he's back now, and he's very honorable. I mean, he stayed with TSL for a long time. People love him. But why hasn't he been able to launch himself to the upper echelons of Protoss play?
I'm not really sure. I mean, he was doing really well in the beginning, right? I mean, we saw him really blast up. That's actually where everybody knew him from the I guess the beginning stages of Wings of Liberty. Yeah. But I don't know. I haven't actually seen much of his play. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I'm really interested to see what he actually brings to the table here. But obviously, getting to the round of 8, 1 series away from actually getting to the NASL Season 4, that has to show a little bit of skill there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Killer is not his PvP isn't his best matchup. He's historically, statistically, better against Zerg at 57%. His PvP win rate is in the 30s, Andre. That's pretty bad ratios.
Ouch.
But, you know, Killer, just like you said, beat some pretty good people to get here. He beat Vampire, who's really good from MVP. He beat Moonglade. Everyone knows that they all see Zerg. And so he really has rightfully earned his spot, and we're going to have to see if he's able to hold it off. Now let's shift gears a little bit and talk about Tal'Darim Altar. It used to be 4-gate versus 4-gate, but now we see players play a little bit more defensively, and we already see 2 gases from both players.
You can see the SimCity is very interesting from Killer. I actually like this quite a bit. We'll go into that a little bit later, but I want to talk about the builds really quickly. Both of them are mimicking pretty closely. Neither of them scouting until just now. Killer is actually finally going out with a single probe, whereas Finale has been not scouting this whole time and being very aggressive, taking all of his gas. You can see 6 probes on gas this whole time. So he's probably susceptible to a lot of different 4-gates at this point. But I don't know. It's really difficult to tell. It might be, you know, mind gaming each other.
I mean, he's just squeezing out a little bit more gas, but in the end, he is going for 2-gate Stalker, and that just gives him a lot more defensive abilities. Now, Killer grab gas a little bit later, so he can't necessarily tech as quickly. You can see the disparity about 60 gas right now, and as a result, we see immediate Twilight Council. Oh, excuse me, that's 60 gas after the Twilight Council has been placed. So that's a lot of gas differential. Killer, as a result, does have some more ability to put more production down. You can see an additional gateway, but still has yet to choose really what he wants to do besides gateway tech.
It feels like Finale is going for some sort of Dark Templar tech. Actually, I'm almost positive he is. We see no more units in queue right now. Just now a Stalker, so it looks like he's saving up a lot of gas. You can see minerals and gas being saved up. Where is he actually going to allocate that? No, he goes for Blink. Very interesting that he opted to do that. I would normally say that you get extra Stalkers just to be safe. Maybe he was just changing his mind, indecisive, something like that. But
well, Blink is really good on this map because there's no ramp. And so as a result, vision never becomes an issue. You don't have to sacrifice one Stalker or even put yourself in a moment of vulnerability. And the big thing is that you're not only the entry point, but the exit point. There's, for Killer's base towards the western side, there's that little ledge you can always escape out of as well. So it just gives you a lot more mobility, especially on a huge map like Tal'Darim Altar. It's not necessarily a bad choice. But Killer, we see him going for a more conventional route, dropping a robotics facility, but this robotics is pretty late, Andre.
Yeah, it will be a little bit difficult to actually pull anything off. I think a lot of times when you do a Blink Stalker build like this, you're actually going to go for like a fake 4-gate into this just so you can buy time and space, more importantly. But here we go. The first couple Stalkers might actually be picked off. One Stalker goes down. Wow. Big mistake over there by Finale. And now it looks like Killer feels really confident, but he gets a false sense of security right now. These Stalkers have to retreat after this happens because now the Blink is researched. These 5 Stalkers are dead. There's no way that they can stay alive.
Oh no, Killer gets immediately surrounded. He realizes it's not even worth trying to fight, and he tries to immediately target down, but You know, I guess the very, very thin silver lining is that Killer knows that his opponent has Blink before he was caught out of position. He's getting his first Immortal out. Now you can see immediately that Killer does have 2 sentries, but it's not going to really do anything because, again, you can't deny vision, which means Blink Stalkers can just blink past it. So 2 sentries is usually what you want on normal maps, but it's very hard for Killer to hold his position.
Correct.
He does have 1 Immortal out, and if he can get a second one, anything can happen, but Finale is not going to wait for that.
I don't think that's going to happen. Now he's just going to wait for his next round of units to pop out really quickly, and there they are, a couple of Stalkers. 3 more Stalkers are going to enter the fray. He's probably going to blink directly on top of that Immortal as fast as he can. Oh, wow, he's just going to micro it. Interesting choice. Now, he has to be careful, because if the Mortal count gets up high enough, they can actually DPS Stalkers down pretty fast, but I don't think that's going to happen. Very nice Blink Stalker micro.
Blinking back the initial the Stalkers that took damage, but you see another Mortal popping out maybe just in the nick of time. We do see Killer trying to get another Mortal. Has to be really cautious, and this is where SimCity comes into play, just like you were saying, Andre. No buildings on the exterior getting picked off, but instead fighting near his Nexus. Now you can see the Guardian Shield pops up, which is really good for keeping the units alive, especially the Zealots, but the Stalkers are blinking back very nicely from Finale. A lot of units are weak, and with good control, should be able to limit the rest of the units. Killer running low on supply, and the last of his Stalkers will drop, and the unit that get warped in will immediately die. GG comes out. Finale takes game number 1 with a great execution of Blink Stalkers on Tal'Darim Altar.
I think a very nice build order win at that point, but I have to really question Killer for pushing out with those 5 Stalkers. It doesn't make sense, right? You see only 1 Stalker. Your opponent has so many different builds that they can be doing.
Yeah.
Even something like having 2 sentries, defensive 4-gate or defensive 3-gate expand, defensive 2-gate expand. A lot of these builds will be able to kill those 5 Stalkers, or at least kill a couple of them. So just because he gets 1 Stalker kill doesn't mean he has the right to actually push up, check out what your opponent's doing, cross map. And because of that, he just lost the game straight up. It could have been, think, Dark Templars, Immortals, Blink Stalkers. It could have been just regular delayed 4-gate. There's so many different things that could have happened right there. I really feel like that was a very, very risky choice, especially if you're going robotics facility.
Well, it was it was just as risky for Finale, but he does take the first game. Thank you to Epson, the people who provide projectors for NASL Season 3. We'll be back with game number 2 between Killer and Finale. We'll find out if Finale is able to take a 2-0 or Killer make the comeback.